The wheels are seemingly falling off for Chelsea, who had made such a strong claim to their league title credentials. The Blues were on course to battle it out with Man City and Liverpool, but in the last few weeks, Thomas Tuchel's men have suffered. What's gone wrong for the reigning European champions? Well, we'll talk about it in great detail in just a bit. Barcelona are still eager to tie down Ousmane Dembele to a new deal, and the club apparently has found a new way to make the Frenchman commit to a deal before he enters free agency. Matteo Guendouzi's loan spell at Marseille has worked out brilliantly, but what does the future hold for the Arsenal man? Anthony Martial will be a wanted man during the winter transfer window, but the French international has his own preference when it comes to a future club. Which club does the Man United man want to go to? Napoli are likely to strengthen their squad during the winter transfer window, and the Italian giants have identified a couple of French players. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It's the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. Will he leave? Will he not leave? Ousmane Dembele still doesn't know what his future will be like. The more time passes, the more we tell ourselves that the 24-year-old Frenchman will leave at the end of his contract next June to commit to what he considers to be the best project, or the one that will be the most lucrative. The arrival of Xavi at the dugout has still changed the situation slightly. A big fan of speedy wingers, the new coach is trying to revive the former René Man's ailing fortunes that injuries have played a big role in. Negotiations and meetings between representatives of the winger and Barca have ended without a solution having been found for the moment. We have to believe that Barca are trying several ways to convince the former Borussia Dortmund man, who cost them around €135 million in 2017. It will be difficult to get an agreement by the end of the year as desired. Nevertheless, the French media outlets are claiming that there is a certain optimism at Camp Nou. The club's management are reportedly offering Dembele a 2-year deal with a pay rise that might interest the player's entourage. The offer also comes with a 1-year extension. However, time is running out because from January 1st, Dembele will be able to sign a pre-contract deal with any club of his choosing. A fan favourite among the Marseille fan base since the start of the season, and probably one of their best performers alongside Dimitri Payet, Matteo Guendouzi arrived on loan from Arsenal with a point to prove. His long curly hair has been flowing with ease in Ligue 1 since last August, and he's become the darling of the Marseille public as much as the enemy of certain rivals. The midfielder, who made his France debut earlier this year, decided to speak about his time in Rome and seemed visibly happy about how the situation has turned out for him. It's a wonderful feeling. I was young like them. I followed very great players. I wanted to be like them. It gives me great pleasure. If I can set a good example on and off the pitch, it is with pleasure. I was well integrated into the club and into the city. It's extraordinary what I'm going through. It's really the best choice I could make, said the young midfielder. The Arsenal man even went on to say that joining Marseille was the best decision he made in a long time, and admitted that he was sold on the project the club is working on. The youngster also admitted that he sees himself staying at the Stade Velodrome for a long time. This means that during the next summer transfer window, we might see Marseille negotiating with Arsenal for a permanent move. While everything indicates that he will be leaving United this winter, the Frenchman might already know what colours he will be defending from January. Martial confirmed that he will be one of the biggest movers in the next transfer window, once his agent Philippe Lambolet confided to Sky Sports that his client wants to leave the club in January and would want to play for a team where he gets to feature regularly. Obviously, as always in these situations, there's a fair amount of interest from clubs all over Europe, and in recent weeks the former Lyon and Monaco man was linked with the likes of Juventus, Newcastle and Barcelona. But obviously, the Frenchman wants to join another team that we've not talked about so far. According to Sky Sports, Martial does want to play in Spain, but it's Sevilla where his heart lies. Apparently. It's being reported that Martial is impressed by the work done by the Andalusian outfit and will be speaking with Ralf Rangnick about letting him go there. Reportedly, Sevilla have already made an offer, and with star forward Youssef En-Nesyri set to depart for the African Cup of Nations, a move to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan could be on the cards. Second in Serie A and 4 points behind league leaders Inter Milan, Napoli have had a great start to the season and intend to continue that way. However, the Italian club will have to compensate for the departures due to the African Cup of Nations of Kalidou Koulibaly, Senegal, and Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa, Cameroon. While Napoli have alternatives for the former in defence, the latter will have to be temporarily replaced, since only Amir Rahmani and Juan Jesus can hold their own in this position. But apart from that, the Partenopei will be looking to strengthen in another position. The left side is where the problems lie. Mario Rui's performances have been far from satisfactory, while his understudy Fawzi Goulam is not doing that well either. According to reports, the Italians are targeting 2 French players. The first one is Layvin Kurzawa, who is completely off the radar at PSG. The former Monaco man has barely featured this season, with his path to first-team football blocked by the likes of Nuno Mendes, Juan Bernat and Abdou Diallo. The other one is Everton left-back Lucas Digne. Since his arrival at the Goodison Park, the former Barcelona man has been in fine form. However, things have not worked out for him this season, with his relationship with Rafa Benitez having become untenable. After not featuring in the last 3 games for the Toffees, the France international might want to look at a new adventure, and Napoli are likely to take advantage of this situation. The wheel is failing, some say. Since the start of November, the former Premier League leaders, Chelsea, have dropped points to Burnley, Manchester United, West Ham United, and now Everton. They also missed the opportunity to finish at the top of their Champions League group with a draw at Zenit St. Petersburg. Just over 6 months after their second European title, the boat is pitching slightly for Thomas Tuchel's side, and the first signs of concern are appearing for those who predicted that the relationship between the head coach and the club could well experience an end similar to those he experienced with Borussia Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain. But in truth, Chelsea have 2 big issues to deal with right now, and they are called Manchester City and Liverpool. The Blues are on course to ending the campaign with 83 points if they continue at their current points per game ratio, a haul that is no longer good enough to win the Premier League these days. City and Liverpool are on another level right now. While both have had more irregular seasons in front of empty stadiums in 2020 to 21, City have now won 7 games in a row, and the Reds 6 after hitting their stride. Both teams look set to amass 90 or more points this season and resume a trend that saw 4 back-to-back champions register 93 or more points ahead of City's title last season. This is definitely looking more and more like the 2018-19 season, when City and Liverpool shared 195 points, with Pep Guardiola winning the title by 1 single point. So this is why the drop from Chelsea's previously high level does seem so striking. The Blues really need to keep pace with 2 teams that are playing like machines. The 1-1 draw with Wolves was hard to digest, but then again, you can't blame Tuchel for that. The last 3 games, Chelsea have also had to deal with players who could not feature due to the dreaded virus. While the Blues did try to have their games postponed, their efforts were rejected by authorities. While not completely, but the Premier League authorities have played a major role in this. No wonder Tuchel is not so happy with how his club was treated, especially when the likes of Man United and Tottenham's requests were entertained. These double standards are naturally going to be used as ways to deflect attention, but in all honesty, Chelsea have actually been dealt a bad card this time around. Deprived of their best players, Chelsea have suffered, and which team wouldn't? However, Liverpool might also have a tough time in the next few weeks. They're set to lose their African contingent for the AFCON, and City might also face some issues going forward. While the world seems to be ending for the Blues right now, we're sure that they will bounce back from this and maybe take the title assault down to the wire.